Hello and welcome to today's webinar, No Effort Reporting and Analysis for SalesForce.com. During today's webinar, we will be utilizing data visualization and analysis software provided by Advisor Solutions. Advisor Solutions is one of today's leading providers of data visualization and business intelligence software. The demonstration that you are about to see will utilize a templated version of Advisor's enterprise-level software called SalesAdvizor. SalesAdvizor has been specifically designed and set up to manage sales performance data streamed in from SalesForce.com. Before we begin today's webinar, I'd like to go over just a few housekeeping items. First of all, if you have any questions at any time, you can use the chat panel in the lower right-hand corner of GoToMeeting, and we'll be sure to answer it either live at the end of the webinar, or we'll get back to you via email as soon as we can. The webinar slides will be available, and the recording of the webinar will be available upon its completion, and we can email that out to you. Also, the software that we're showcasing today can be downloaded for a free trial at www.officeadvisor.com, as well as some other software that Advisor Solutions offers. In a minute, I'm going to hand over the presentation to Doug Cogswell, who's President and CEO of Advisor Solutions. But first, I'd like to give a really quick demonstration of the core functionality of SalesAdvizor, just to demonstrate why it's such a unique and valuable tool for sales performance management. I'm going to pull up right here. This is just SalesForce.com. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this view right here. And you know, as most of us know, this isn't very interactive. In order to get any information on any of these accounts, you need to click on them, and it takes a lot of work to really drill down into the information. This is SalesAdvizor, the software by Advisor Solutions, and as you can see, it offers a similar view of the different opportunities and the different accounts out there. But if I simply mouse over a section of the accounts that I want to see, you see this chart change over here, and that's just a really quick example of the interactive ability of SalesAdvizor. And for me anyway, it's very compelling to see how quickly and easily you can drill down into data. So with that little demonstration, I'd like to hand out things over to Doug Cogswell, who's President and CEO of Advisor Solutions.
Hey, thanks, Joel. That was a great introduction to a concept we call visual discovery, which is what you see on the screen. You can interact with and select in any way that makes sense to do your analysis or cut the list down. I'm going to go back to the beginning. This is what we call a SalesAdvizor. It's available off www.advisorsolutions.com. It consists of a series of pages. There's a couple of pages on the right that are more report-oriented, some pages in the middle that deal with the opportunities, the size of them, timing and probability, attributes, and then there's some pages on the right about the opportunity owners and owner performance. And there's the navigation pane on the left, which describes each of the pages. So I'm going to shut this down so we have more real estate for the pages here. And Joel showed you a page which was on timing and probability. The first page is on opportunity list. So there's this running list of all of the opportunities. And right now we're looking at 7 opportunity owners. There's 529 counts with 558 opportunities, which is this list here. The total value of them is $11.9 million. The expected revenue, which is the SalesForce.com calculation with the probability, is $2.5 million. And this list is everything. I can scroll down the list. It's sorted by the highest probability to the lowest probability, and you can sort it different ways and so forth. And there's some filters up here that you can use to cut it down to certain opportunity owners. Or in this case, we're looking at everything that's not yet closed.
So, Doug, this is a third-party management tool then for SalesAdvizor.com. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's to use it, you just click on it. It asks for your SalesForce.com login credentials, and it goes up to Salesforce, grabs your data, and comes down and opens it up in these set of pages.
We'd actually like to do a really quick poll to see how many people out there are using a third-party management tool to manage their sales pipeline. I'm going to let this poll run for about 20 seconds.
And Joe, while it's running, I'm just going to click through a couple more pages here.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so there's the second page is more of a traditional report view where it tallies it, the opportunities by close month, by owner, by stage, and this can drill down. It's a right click. I can drill down to the specific close dates. I can drill up, from months to quarters and so forth. So it gives me sort of a traditional view of the data. The rest of these pages are more visual. The next total amount, it's taking the opportunities and showing them in a chart. So this is the biggest ones are at the top. In this case, Centene is a $78,000 opportunity, and the coloring here is by probability. So the red is a lower probability, the blue is a higher, so the cooler colors are higher probability, the hotter colors are lower. You want the cooler colors. And the deals fall off, there's some small ones. It sort of gives you a feel of the whole portfolio. Now, Joe, when you look at this, what do you see in this, this pattern?
Well, I see some really good just visually you can see trends in the data and things like that. Could you do maybe a really quick example of how this visualization right here is really interactive?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to grab up here, there's like a cliff point where I'm going from roughly $30,000. These deals, you can see the brush ups, and they start jumping. If I wanted to grab the ones that are in this top, like 10%, I can just take the mouse and sweep over it. So those are the deals that are roughly over $30,000. The list changed, so these are just those opportunities. They total $2.3 million. And here's the accounts they're in, and I see I've got, it looks like 49 accounts with 51 opportunities at that size level, and that's, that's a, what's that? That's 20% of 25% of my total pipeline right now is in these bigger deals. They're pretty important to me.
Right, so this is more than just a visualization tool. It looks like it's something that a user is really able to dig down into their data and really discover things from their data. Is that right?
Right, and we would call this whole concept visual discovery. And it's, the two technologies we brought together here are this interactive visualization along with in-memory data management. So underneath this, there's a table of the opportunities, there's a table of partners, there's a table of accounts. Some of the core tables from Salesforce are running in memory, and that's how what we're graphing off, which is what gives you this interactivity.
Okay, well, that looks great. We actually just got our poll results, and it looks like the majority of people do not use a third-party management tool to look at their sales pipeline or their Salesforce.com data. Could we just flip through some more of these charts and really illustrate the valuable pieces of this tool?
Yeah, so the next page is the same view, only it's expected revenue, which is the total amount times the probability. So, it gives you actually the same view. There's pretty much a cliff at the top, and you've got 10% of the deals are the bulk of your expected revenue. And, the cooler colors are now up here because these are the higher probability deals, and you can sort of see. So it's telling you a number of things. I think the next page, which is what you started on, Joel, is more interesting. This page is looking at the opportunities. This is called a scatter plot, is looking at them from how long they've been in the pipeline by the create date in Salesforce. So these have been brand new ones. Some of them have been in 30 months. And then this is taking them from low probability, 0 to high probability, 100%. And each of these bubbles is an opportunity. So if I put the mouse over one of these, this is a W&M IR. The owner is Albert Black. It's a $30,000 deal. It's been in the pipeline 28 months, and it's got a close, probability of 85%. And there's a bunch of, actually, Joe, what sort of jumps or what kinds of things would you like to see when you look at something like this, or how would you like to explore this?
Well, I'd really like to maybe walk through a scenario in which a sales manager or somebody who really needs to dig down deeper into this data is able to extract what they need to know from this in ways that they wouldn't be able to with Salesforce.com.
Well, so maybe I think our VP might be going to Boston in a couple of weeks. So maybe we ought to, try to set him up with some accounts to visit. Maybe that's one scenario, and then we can come back. I mean, another thing that jumps at me is an awful lot of these opportunities down here that have, kind of not that high probability that have been out. These are all over 12 months. That's a lot of time to be down at that low probability. Maybe that's another thing we could explore. So we take the Boston trip. Probably ought to think about this quarter. How would we want to think about what kind of deals would be the right ones to visit in Boston?
Well, we probably look at this chart about probability and months in the pipeline, and I probably want to pick, I don't know, some of the deals that look like it's higher potential deals.
Yeah, so we might want to grab maybe everything, just the top part of this chart, everything over 50%. I mean, if we're going to make the trip, let's get the ones that are more likely to get visited. So it's, again, visual discovery, just select, take the mouse, sweep across. I've now got 47 opportunities that are in those higher probabilities. I can now go up here, exclude the unselected, cleans the chart up. I'm just looking at those. And now close quarter. Somebody's not putting dates in. That's not good. But let's, for the ones we do, it's Q4. I can select this. Now I've just got the Q4 deals. Get rid of everything else. I can right-click. This shows it's a hierarchy. Drill down. They're almost all in December. And let's pretend it's October right now, so we've got time on these. This is good. We probably now need to go to opportunity attributes because Joe's going to Boston, our VP. Let's click on this. Here's where they are to the extent we've got the data. Now, some of my people aren't putting the addresses in, which is a data cleanup problem. But for the ones we know, let's grab Massachusetts, get rid of everything else. I can drill down on this because there's a hierarchy too. So it looks like I've got 4 opportunities in Waltham and Boston that are high probability due to close this quarter, and his Comcast, American International Group, Creighton, and Sewanee ad. So I can now go back to my first page. Here's some of the stats in these. Let's right-click. I can export the list out of here, put this on my desktop. And we give this to the VP to say, here's the kind of the target list of deals that for your upcoming visit would be the best ones because they're high probability. They're all in the Boston area. They're slated to close, the next 8 weeks. So let's go. And we could add address and stuff to this. But here's the list of them. That's the kind of thing that we see people doing all the time. Is this cross-cut of the data that's just hard to do in Salesforce. Salesforce is aimed at reporting, but not letting you do this kind of, we would call it visual discovery or cross-querying of the data like that. We bring everything back. What else?
Right. Well, I can definitely see how you can. It's very easy to slice and dice a list and really drill down into your data in ways that are either impossible or just very hard and time-consuming to do with either SalesForce.com or with some of the other tools on the market. I see this. I see that included in the SalesAdvizor software are all these pre-built templated charts, which it makes it seem like it would be really easy and really quick for me to upload my Salesforce.com data and see what is templated out within the software. Would I be able to add my own charts? How easy is that to do, to customize the software to my unique needs?
Hey, well, great question. So let's say we looked at geography over here and operating attributes in this bar chart, which bring it back up to state. Another way, maybe we have a discussion and somebody says, hey, I'd like to add a map to this. There's no map in this thing right now. Cool. So I go over here, open a view, and there's something called a task view. It's all this set of things you've got to do to build a project. Now, SalesAdvizor comes pre-built, but now we're going to add to it. So we're going to add a page, and we're going to put a list and a map on the page. So click New Page. I'm going to add new charts. Click that. I want to add 15 different charts. You've seen some of them, bar charts and constellations. So I'm going to add a map. And I'm going to add something called a summary sheet to this page because I want to actually see the opportunities. Close. So let's set this chart up. There's several tables in here. Opportunity is the one I want to put this on. The field I want to put here is opportunity name. These are all the loads from SalesForce.com, opportunity owner. And then I want to look at the amount, which is going to sum. Well, they actually are individual opportunities. So I'm going to look here. These are the amount of the 11.93 by each of my my reps. And I might want to put another chart in here. Let's add a new chart. I'm going to add one more. Put one under this. I may want to also look at the opportunities themselves. So instead of opportunity owner, I'm going to put this on opportunity name. I'm going to look at the data a couple of ways. Opportunity name is up here. Put this on amount. So these are just the fields straight from Salesforce, and I can sort this by size. So now I've got a list of the my opportunity owners and what they've got, and here's the opportunities. Now let's put the map in. We don't need this task view anymore. So I click the wrench on the map. I'm going to go through opportunity. I'm going to the location. I want to do city and state. It's the field that's in here. Use our geocodes, sized by the number of opportunities. It tells me that there are 414 that don't have address, so they're obviously not going to show up on the map. I now need to pick a map. Let's pick a nice U.S. map. This one looks good. We have a bunch of maps we come with. You can add your own maps, Chicago region, New York region, whatever. Just pull them off the internet. So here's a map. Let's size it a little bit better. There's a property control at the bottom. The map came up. Let's zoom it in a little bit. Let's move it move over here a little bit. Stick it over here. Let's make the little things on it a little bit bigger so we can see them better. Okay, that looks pretty good. So close this toolbar at the bottom. So now somebody said, hey, it doesn't look like we have much in the Midwest. I've got 2 opportunities in Greenwood Village, Colorado. Looks like I've got 3 in Telluride. Hey, I'm going out to Telluride on a ski trip. I can select Telluride. The opportunities should update. Where's my map? They did. So my opportunities updated over here. Close this up. So I'm seeing that, in Telluride, looks like Sally Lott, Amy Bell, and Glenn have deals, and here they are, Berkshire Hathaway, Molex, and Bristol Myers. So if I'm planning a trip to Telluride, that's where they want to visit. If I'm going to Chicago, I can click that. These change. And the same thing, if I wanted to go back and find, the cross-cuts from the other pages, like some of the high probability deals, where are they? I could select them there, and then the map would update. So what we've done is made it really easy to add pages and charts to these projects, and then when they come up, they're linked to the data. So the selection on the new charts updates everything, and all the other charts. Let me try one more. Go to timing and probability. This is the chart we used before. If I grab all my high probability deals, exclude everything else, go back to my map, there's where the high probability deals are on the map. So it kind of works both ways.
Wow, so that I can see how this is very intuitive, and it seems like it would be very easy for anyone to really customize this to meet their own unique needs, as well as the tool is also comes with the pre-built dashboards that allow you to just it's pretty much plug and play. It seems like. Would you agree?
Yeah. So the idea here is the initial app, SalesAdvizor, is totally plug and play. You just grab it, and it gives you a set of these predefined pages, which these are the types of things we found that our customers want to do, and we've taken the Salesforce data and made it easy to do this kind of quick cross-cutting analysis. But it can easily add other tables. We can easily add other pages and charts to expand beyond what the base template is.
So what if I wanted to upload other data not contained within Salesforce.com? Is it possible to do that?
Yeah, let's take a look at how you do that. We'll open the task view again. This is a set of steps you do to build a project. And up here, there's a whole set of things on load data. There's if I click load new data, that tells me how, and there's a little video on it. If I actually want to load new data, I click this. I get a wizard. It takes me through. I can load text files, Excel, Access. I could go back to Salesforce and load more data, or maybe I've got some data here in one of my corporate databases. Maybe it's in SQL Server or Oracle. So I can just click on one of these. I want to load an Excel file just to show how it works. Click Excel. I've got to go find one. There's one on my desktop under Demos. Here's something totally unrelated, mutual funds. Sorry, I don't have any data that is related to this demo for the SalesAdvizor, but let's open that. I click through. There's several sheets in here. The data's in this sheet, so I bring that over. Click OK. It profiles it. So it here's the different fields. I can change the field names because sometimes the field names in the database may not be real clear. It figures out if it's strings or whatever the type it is. I just click through this, bunch of rows. It loads it in. So now I don't want to remember that in this case. Now I've got a new table in here which I can work with, to put more charts up and more pages and so forth. So it's literally that simple. I have another table in here I can link in, connect with, and work with.
So this isn't just a sales performance management tool. This tool would actually allow me to upload data of any type or sort and analyze it in the same way that we have been doing in this demo.
Right. SalesAdvizor is a project that runs on Office Advisor, which is a general analysis tool. And just to be clear, this product's off the website will let you load tables from a limited set, Salesforce, Excel, Access, text files, and it has the SalesAdvizor project links and joins them. But if you want to load data from Oracle and SQL Server and link and join them, you need our enterprise or departmental level products. So just a caveat, yes, we have all that function. It's not necessarily all available in the lower price points on the website.
Okay, well that sounds great. Could you maybe run us through another demo? Perhaps maybe let's do like a staff performance management.
Yeah, so there's some pages over here we haven't looked at yet, so let's keep going. We dropped down to just the high probability deals to see the map. Let's bring everything back. So I'll come back. It's not just the high probability deals are selected. Let's reselect it all and back to the beginning. I've got my 11 million pipeline. There's a page here that looks at the reps, and this is something we call a heat map. And this demo data has 7 opportunity owners or reps. It's not that much, but this really starts helping if you've got like regions and multiple reps. The coloring and sizing really starts telling a story. And what the deal is their size. So Sally Lott is big rectangle because she's got a lot of opportunity amount out there. And it's colored by the average probability. So Sally's green because if you look at the brush up, it will show that her average probability, the top number is 27%, and the color scale ranges from 29 is the high and 15 is low. So she's doing relatively well. Brenda Stone, on the other hand, down here, has a smaller portfolio, and they're less far along from a probability standpoint. Now, maybe she's a new hire. We need to know some more information, but this helps you, especially if you have more reps and they're grouped in different ways, to see patterns of performance. Now, this will also link back with the timing because, well, I'll actually stop for a second. This page is complemented by another page that takes the same data and shows it in more a traditional view where you've got kind of bar charts. So there's a target of a goal is 100 opportunities by owners. Sally, Jennifer, and Jenny and Amy have cleared it. These reps haven't. Total amount, Sally, Jennifer, and Amy cleared it. These haven't. Expected revenue and then average amount. You actually see that Albert's got the highest average amount, but if I click him here, he's lower on the number of opportunities and the total amount. So he's getting good sizes out there, but he's having some trouble actually getting enough deals going. So there's 2 views sort of from a staff performance management. Now, one thing just to kind of continue a little bit here we might want to look at is we have that other page where the timing. We raised the question earlier about there's an awful lot of opportunities here that have been out a long time and haven't progressed very far. So we could select them here and figure out are there concentrations among some of the opportunity owners or reps. So to do that, I would literally just take the mouse and maybe sweep over this right-hand quadrant. This is, again, our opportunities that have been in the pipeline quite a while and are still fairly low probability. And there's 107 of them, and all 7 reps have at least one of them. And the total is $2.2 million. So that's a material amount. To go back to the heat map page, what I'm now showing is the coloring is the delayed or long or lower probability deals, and the gray is everything else. So you can sort of see the probability. Like Albert Black, there's a fair amount of orange, and the number at the bottom shows that 28% of his pool are in that bad situation. Now, Dave Crenshaw, only 7.5. There's just a little bit of green at the bottom. Sally Lott, 18%. She's got an amount there too. So I'm sort of seeing that there's not an even concentration of where those deals fit. And I might want to go back and I can look at, Albert's has a lot of them stuck. What does this whole pool look like? So I can click him here, go back over here. Now, the chart is showing all of the portfolio of everybody. The colored are just Albert Blacks in this case. So I selected one owner, and I'm seeing Albert has a lot of them stuck, and he actually has very few that have progressed up here very well. So that's an issue of concern. Let's take a look at Sally. She's got more of them. Sally's got a much better spread. She does have a bunch that are stuck, but she's also got a number that have moved up to the close state and up here fairly well. And, you know, these bigger ones are some larger size deals. So she didn't have as much of a problem with these delayed deals because she's got a broader portfolio that's moved reasonably well. So that's the kind of stuff that teams are using in coaching sessions. You know, the sales team comes in, and you're trying to figure out what are the best practices here, who's doing relatively well, and you might have a discussion with Sally. You know, these deals, how in the world did you get these big ones through? You know, they closed in 18 months. That's pretty good. And you might then come back over here, and, you know, Albert, you know, your situation looks a little different. Let's talk about there's some larger deals. How can we help move these along and maybe have the cross dialogue, because Sally's obviously doing a better job at getting things through faster. That's the kind of, you know, this part of the project is a little bit different than the left. This is more about finding opportunities and trying to understand maybe who to follow up on, where to go for the visit, those kinds of things. This is more about the staff performance and who's doing relatively well and relatively not. And the cool thing is, all of this data is sitting there in SalesForce.com. It's just there. And so what we've done is just brought it out in a way that it's easy to see the patterns in it, then easy to interact with it and explore it. And we would say visually or through visual discovery or analysis, which is easier than querying in the typical Salesforce.com report templates.
Yeah, I mean that's it's pretty amazing how you can make discoveries so quickly just by clicking on different sections of the chart. You had mentioned the use of this as in a coaching session or in some kind of presentation or meeting. We actually had a question that just came in asking about the different ways that this can be exported in different ways to be used in presentations. Could you maybe talk briefly about that?
Yeah. You saw at the beginning, the other example, when we got to the Boston list, we could export the actual data out of Advisor to Excel. So you can export data from any of the lists, the front one, or any of these report formats. You can take charts out, like say this chart, which is I'm looking at. I was looking at Albert Black over here. If I want to put this chart in a PowerPoint, I can just click on the chart. It highlights, paste it to my clipboard, go into PowerPoint. Let's open up a new page. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I meant to go here, new slide. So now I can just paste it into PowerPoint, the one chart. There it is. I can also take, so that's the second way. A third way is if I want to get this whole page out of here, I'm going to open up my task view again. A set of things about sharing. I can export the data, export the current page. So if I want the whole page out of here, I can click this. It's going to take the page, put it in a PowerPoint. It could be a web page, Adobe Word. I don't want the legends. I'm just going to send it out. So it's going to put it somewhere, my desktop, call it something. So it's going to take this page out of here as a PowerPoint, you know, as it's shown. And so I've got the whole page out of here with the labels and everything. And maybe you say, you know, this is too much. I don't need this chart here. Get rid of that one. Slide this one maybe down a little bit, and I can put some text in here and update this. So it's, you know, when it comes out it comes out in PowerPoint as objects that can then be, you know, kind of worked through. So we find a lot of our accounts share data out of here. It's pretty easy to get the graphics out. I brought out the labels. You could have had them off or whatever. We also find that people use Advisor interactively in meetings, so they will go into their sales meeting with this, and you know they'll be doing the kind of analysis we did with their team using Advisor, because what will invariably happen is a question will come up from management that you can answer on the spot. Like if they asked, well, wait, what's the deal with these ones that have moved like pretty quickly through up here? You can just select, you know, here's the list of them, and you can go right into the answer the questions live. So you can export data. You can take particular charts out and easily drop them in someplace else from a clipboard. You can export whole pages to different types of documents, and you obviously can run this live in Teams. Our Enterprise Edition lets you also publish this to a web server, so this whole project could be put up on a portal and be put out to a whole bunch of people.
Okay, great. We have another question that just came in. Can you map sales territory?
Yeah. So this demo data doesn't have sales territories, but if you go back to the opportunity owner portfolio, a couple of things here. Bring stuff back. If these people were in territories or departments or groups, it could be physical territories, it could be functional territories. This chart can segment, so it might have this is put a big white box around this, and Sally and Jenny maybe are in the west region, and then maybe a box goes around this and groups these people in the east region. So this heat map can group people into territories or regions, and obviously the map as well can be colored or be set so it can put people in territories or regions. Or if the territories or regions aren't geographical, we have a variety of charts that can also structure the grouping and let you see the detail underneath. So we have a variety of ways of doing that, and we also can set the charts up. This can take a little bit of a mind map, but like this is an example of if we drill this up. The charts also can, because picture instead of being quarters, this was regions, and maybe this is the east region, so I grab the east region, I can get rid of everything else. Now I can right-click and drill down on the east region. It's all 1 month, so that wasn't the best example. But you go back, try this again. Hold on. Grab this quarter. Say this is a region. I now want to drill down on it, get rid of everything else. Right-click, drill down. And maybe these are all the. There's 3 reps in the region, so I can. There's a series of different charts that can handle that kind of grouping and the ability to go from one level to another and show it, or let you drill through it, or plot it, or whatever would be the right way to show it. And, that answer the question?
Yes, I think so. Another question just came in. They have custom objects and fields in SalesForce. Can we pull them directly in through SalesAdvizor? Yeah.
There's 2 answers to that. So if they're in, we load a series of tables here. Let me show you SalesAdvizor. I'm going to open something called the Project Workshop. We're loading 4 tables. So here are the tables. We're actually loading, we didn't load all these tables. The mutual funds is a table we stuck in. We're bringing in the opportunity tables, and also I believe the accounts table comes in along with it, so we do some linking and joining. So if in the SalesAdvizor there's other fields added to the opportunity table, yes, I can go in and bring them in the load, because the load wizard, if new columns were added, or there were columns that we didn't grab because they're not the standard fields, they would show, and they would be unchecked. So you could check them off and then bring them in the next import. Our departmental enterprise edition can bring in all kinds of tables. We're working on, I think a project with it's a large higher education fundraiser that uses SalesForce, and they must have 25 tables they use in SalesForce, and we're bringing all of those tables in. They have custom tables, custom fields, and we're really good at working with all of that. But just a SalesAdvizor that's available on the web will work with the opportunity table, and I believe it also brings in the accounts and partner table, but it flattens them into this one table. So you're constrained to just that. Our enterprise and departmental products are fully open and can bring in anything and have that full flexibility to work with custom tables, fields. And also we have customers that will bring, the opportunities are in SalesForce. The revenue recognition system might be some ERP system that's storing in SQL Server. So we can pull, the SalesForce tables and go load the SQL Server tables, all come into memory, and then as long as they have customer IDs or some linking factors, bring them all together and do consistent views as well.
Okay, great. We're getting a lot of questions coming in here. One more. Can SalesAdvizor track SalesForce activities such as customer visits, phone calls, etc.?
Yes. That's another example of this project we're working on. It has all kinds of contacts in there. They have event participation in there, all of that. And yes, those are just other tables we bring in. We would key them off the account ID numbers, so if you're then going through this example, the VP is going to Boston with the the high probability opportunities, he can also see what contacts have been made with those customers, and maybe what other kinds of, if there's activities or things they might have participated in, maybe webinars and so forth. You'd see that all that would light up as well. So if you picture the way that would work is the account table would be like the core table, and so when you click opportunities, it's going to tag the accounts related to those opportunities. It's going to go up and tag the contacts and the events and the other things related to the accounts. So all of a sudden, those are all lit up on the charts, cross-selecting the tables. You could then go grab in-person contacts in the last 12 months off the contacts table, and you come back, and then you'd see which opportunities were related to high-probability accounts that have been contacted in person in the last 12 months. So yes, that's actually a really good use of us. Good question.
So it sounds like this is pretty intuitive and pretty easy for the average person to figure out if they're used to working with SalesForce.com. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and again, that's exactly what we've tried to do with this prepackaged, off the website starter SalesAdvizor, which comes down and works. I mean, it literally just comes with this. It just loads the data in, and we're pulling fields that are there, the standard fields from SalesForce.com. So it just loads up and works. And then these last questions, we've got then the capability to modify from there and bring in other tables, link and join, bring in systems, revenue recognition, information, and all of that, and expand.
Well, that sounds really good, Doug. Well, that sounds really good, Doug. I mean, it looks like we've got a lot of really good questions here that came through, and people were really interested in this. If your question wasn't answered, it will be. We will be following up with everyone who answered a question. We'll be sending out emails. And once again, this recording will be available. We'll send out information regarding that. And the software that you just saw is available for free trial download at www.officeadvisor, that's advisor with a Z.com, or you could email us at info@advisorsolutions.com. Once again, that's advisor with a Z. Thank you again for your time, and thank you, Doug.